You wake up. Your throat feels like sandpaper. You reach for your phone and Google your symptoms in under 4 seconds. You are, medically speaking, doomed, according to the internet anyway. But here's the real answer, and it's far stranger than WebMD. Long before pharmacies, before doctors, before anyone knew what a virus even was, your ancestors were getting sick constantly. And somehow, some of them lived long enough to become your ancestors. So how did that work? Let's rewind. Way back. For most of human history, going to the doctor meant asking the oldest person in your group what happened last time someone coughed like that. Grandma was your Google. Oral tradition was your search engine, and the results were occasionally terrifying. Take fever. Ancient humans noticed something simple. Sick people got hot, and sometimes the hot ones got better. So across wildly different cultures, from ancient Greece to pre-colonial societies in the Americas, people started deliberately inducing sweating, steam huts, hot rocks, wrapping a feverish person in blankets by a fire, which, if you think about it, is just an incredibly aggressive spa day with a much higher mortality rate. Here's the twist, though. They weren't entirely wrong. Modern immunologist Matthew Kluger spent years studying something called the fever response, and found that a moderate fever actually helps your immune system fight infection faster. Ancient humans had no concept of white blood cells. They just knew hot felt like progress. Sometimes ignorance and correct instinct hold hands. Then there's wound care, which is where things get delightfully unhinged. Archaeologists have found evidence of ancient humans packing wounds with honey, moldy bread, and even spiderwebs. Sounds like a witch's grocery list. But honey is naturally antibacterial. Certain molds produce compounds that inhibit bacterial growth, which is essentially penicillin's extremely rustic ancestor. Anthropologist Karen Hardy has documented traces of medicinal plants like yarrow and chamomile in the dental plaque of Neanderthals, suggesting they weren't just eating whatever was closest. They were self-medicating. On purpose. 50,000 years before pharmacies existed. Let that sink in for a second. A species without written language was running informal clinical trials on plants. One bad guess, and you're the cautionary tale around the fire. One good guess, and you just extended your genetic legacy by several centuries. But it wasn't only physical. Illness back then wasn't just a biological event, it was a social one. Getting sick in a small hunter-gatherer band was a full group crisis. Someone had to hunt less. Someone had to gather more. Someone had to sit with you so you weren't alone while your body did whatever alarming thing it was doing. Community wasn't a nice bonus, it was literal medicine. Isolation could be as dangerous as the illness itself, which, weirdly, mirrors something researchers keep rediscovering today. Studies on recovery outcomes consistently show that social support speeds healing and improves survival rates, especially in serious illness. Turns out your ancestors weren't just being nice by sitting with a sick friend, they were running a treatment. So next time you're sick on your couch, scrolling through symptoms at 2 a.m., convinced you've invented a brand new disease, remember this. You come from a long, unbroken chain of people who survived infections with nothing but fire, moldy bread, spiderwebs, and each other. Ancient medicine wasn't primitive. It was observational trial and error, running for 100,000 years, refined one gutsy guess at a time. You wake up. Your throat feels like sandpaper. You reach for your phone. But somewhere underneath the panic and the search bar, your body is still running the same ancient program it always has. Fighting, waiting, healing. Just like it did the very first time a human ever got sick, long before there was anyone to Google it for.